Hi everyone, I'm Cassandra Nevin. Tonight we're at the Beach Road Hotel in Bondi, about to have a chat with Ladi6. She's just flown over from New Zealand and is getting ready in this room behind me. I'm so excited to hear more about her music. Let's go.
I was a breakdancer first, and I actually tried all the elements of hip hop before I finally got around to rap. And then once I started rapping, I wanted to just like build a crew. I've always kind of been like really ambitious to try and like, well, we got paid $300 on Waitangi Day, and I was like, what? You can make money out of this? I was just doing this for fun. So I was like, if you can, I'm gonna. Hip hop was actually at the time was such a community vibe. There wasn't really a need for an all-female stand that was going to be like really aggressive. It was more like, oh, these are the girls and we're the guys. It wasn't, and we're all one big community.
Do you think partly that was because it was in New Zealand?
Yeah, and it was the time and the place. It was all based in and around a youth centre, and I think because of that we were all kind of like marginalised Indigenous kids running around before the last bus trying to create a community and do something that was fun and good with our lives. And we were listening to a lot of like raucous records like Black Star, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, like Bahamadia. She was like one of my icons. So was Jean Grey. Also like Ra Digger, like just straight gangster. We actually used one of her instrumentals that she had on one of her things. We found her really empowering. Like the one girl in her squad that was just like really rough, and she smoked weed and she was so dope. Yeah, and she had this like gravelly voice and was proper rap, like proper New York rap, you know. There was no singing or lovely female rhythms. It was just like she could keep up with the boys, and we loved that. We were really doing it for hip hop. I didn't really discover music until I met Parks, who was my producer partner, who was a guitarist at the time. And he wanted us to do like a battle of the bands, and I was kind of like, who are you? What is this? And we made a band, and he kind of introduced me to like band life. So band gear, amps, and rehearsals. I really, you know, with hip hop, we just played beats on like a little cassette tape and grabbed our hairbrush and got in front of the mirror. It was really like, it was like a pop group almost, you know, in that regard. Lately I've been writing a lot about sort of rejection and having to deal with that. I've been looking a lot at social media and how social media and rejection sort of plays like a huge part in people's lives, and how actual real it is and how hurtful it is, and kind of doing a lot of deep thinking about like what that means for now and what that means for like future generations. If this is the way that we're going to interact and communicate as human beings now, like then what does that mean to us when someone just like doesn't like something or blocks us? You know, I've just had a lot of conversations, heard a lot, personally been affected by this like feeling of real rejection in this what seemingly looks like a fake world. But it's a real world, and it's a real world that's just going to expand more.